Hey guys, what's up? It's Louis the Quattro here, and today I want to talk about protein and maximizing muscle protein synthesis. So I want to do something cool on this channel. I want to give you guys the science. I can go basic or very in detailed if you guys want, and I also want to give the practical usages of what I experience in the gym myself and what I hear from my peers at the gym and other people that are interested in building their body and maximizing performance and stuff like that. So I think it'd be kind of cool to give you guys the science and the actual bro science of it and see where they overlap and whatnot like that. So I think that'd be a kind of cool thing to do. So I'm going to title this series, this video, The Science, Protein. And then in real world practications, I'll title it something else in a different series. So I think that'll be cool. Anyway, let's get to it. So using protein to maximize muscle protein synthesis. To understand how to do that, we must first understand what protein is. Protein are just basically amino acids, and in proteins that we actually eat, there's 20 of them. We have essential, non-essential, and conditionally unessential amino acids. So let's break this down. So an amino acid, when linked together, they form something called a polypeptide. When these polypeptides form together, they're called a polypeptide chain, okay? And each amino acid has its own side chain, and it's because of this that they act all differently inside the body. And this is what gives them unique properties, like, and we'll get to that later. So depending on the amino acid sequence of a protein source that you're eating, kind of determines the type of protein that it is. So like chicken, egg, milk, whey, cheese, all different types of fish, they'll all have different protein amino acid profiles. Some with more leucine, less leucine, more tryptophan, less tryptophan, stuff like that. Okay, so that's the basics of protein in essence, without getting too scientific with you guys. So when you're going throughout the day, your body is constantly battling through a thing called muscle protein synthesis and muscle protein breakdown. They're pretty self-explanatory. Muscle protein synthesis is the act of building up amino acids and protein in your body to repair tissues, build muscle, etc. Muscle protein breakdown is when your body is taking away those proteins, breaking down polypeptide chains into the basic amino acids and either using them for energy or just being in a catabolic state. So that's what that is. Now, positive protein buildup is where you want to be if you're trying to build muscle, speed up your metabolism, stuff like that. You can do that by eating food with a good source of protein with each meal and weight training. Now, how much protein do you guys think you might need to eat per meal to maximize muscle protein synthesis? Well, about 30 to 40 grams each meal. This is because the amino acid leucine. Leucine is found to be the only, well, I won't say the only, the most effective amino acid at spiking muscle protein synthesis in your body. So you want to get between 3 to 5 grams of leucine per meal. And it is because of this you want to get 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal, depending on what protein source you are eating. Now, the highest amount of leucine per amino acid profile per things you can eat are eggs and whey protein isolate. Eggs are 8.1% leucine based on the amino acids, and whey protein isolate is 12.1% leucine. Excuse me. So that's the basic breakdown of that. Now, when we go and talk about, let's say, why can't we just eat all this protein a day? Why can't I just get so much more leucine? Why only 3 to 5 grams of leucine? Why can't I get 10? Won't that stimulate more muscle growth? Won't that make me more anabolic, spike muscle protein synthesis even more? No, it's because there's a minimum threshold to leucine. So basically, once you reach that minimum threshold between 3 and 5 grams, right, a person's body cannot stimulate muscle protein synthesis any further than it can naturally. And this is essential. This is important because if you pick foods that have more leucine in them, you can eat less of that protein source. Meaning, so let's say you're dieting for a show, right? That means you can cut calories from protein by being more efficient in where you can get your leucine from, which is the most essential amino acid for building and preserving muscle, because it spikes muscle protein synthesis, preventing muscle protein breakdown. And that is a very important thing to remember. Like I said, eggs and whey protein isolate are the top two sources, and fish would be third. Okay? Chicken, it's middle of the road of that. I think it's what, 3.14%? Something like that. Don't fact check me. You guys can look that up yourself. So that is basically the simple answer of what is protein and how it could be used. To me, I think it's pretty essential to get those 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal. And if you're eating many times throughout the day, that's going to help and give you the best, most optimal scenario for building muscle and preserving muscle. Because let's say some people like to do intermittent fasting. I do it sometimes, only for weight loss though, or if I'm getting sick or something. But let's look at it this way. If you're eating 5-6 smallish meals throughout the day with 30 to 40 grams of protein in each meal, you're going to spike muscle protein synthesis more frequently throughout the day, thus keeping muscle protein buildup, muscle protein synthesis up, and preventing muscle protein breakdown. This is important. Now let's say you only eat 1 to 2 meals a day, right? And they're big, calorically dense meals, and you're fitting 2,500 calories in 2 meals. Yeah, you might get your 230 grams of protein in, right? But remember what I said about the protein threshold or leucine threshold? You're not going to get any more gains from that protein, right, by eating 20, 30, 40 grams of leucine in one sitting or 2 sittings. This is why it's essential to eat at multiple times throughout the day, or at least get an essential amino acid matrix with leucine in your body multiple times throughout the day. It'll keep you more anabolic, prevent muscle protein breakdown, keep you more satiated, and you will look better and fuller and harder in the gym and outside of it. So that's all I have to say about that today, guys. If you have any questions, comment down below. And you can also subscribe, because that would really make me happy. All right, guys? Remember, it's not always how hard you train, but how smart you train. Peace out.